An incredible location, a site that was just discovered in 1972. A previous civilization was here, and it just might have been civilizations. Today we have found the Lost City, an ancient city that was found in Colombia, where they just found this place in 1972. And then, based on a wild guess, by asking the local rabbit, they figured out that this was believed to have been a city from 1,224 years ago, in the year 800, supposedly predating Machu Picchu by 650 years. Not 700 years, not 600 years, but pinning that down to exactly 650 years. All thanks to Bugs Bunny and his friends. This place is incredible. The entrance can be accessed only by climbing up 1,200 stone steps through a jungle in Colombia. Could you even imagine the people of the 800s, the stories that we are told about them, where they had no power tools, no cars, just barebacking the heck out of that donkey, all the way up the steps in the jungle, just riding the crap out of that donkey for miles, bringing the stone all the way to the site and just suffering. It's complete nonsense. They clearly had technology back then that we are not being told about. The site consists of 169 terraces carved into the mountainside, a network of tiled roads, and several small circular plazas. Now I'm going to show you how they steal the items from the site. Check this out. In 1972, they found this site. They tell us that this group was a small family of looters in Colombia. This is the group that supposedly found it. And maybe they did. But when they tell us that they found it by stumbling upon the stone steps while hunting a wild turkey. We have all seen the story where they found caves in India while out there hunting tigers. Reoccurring stories yet again, where they're just off hunting animals and accidentally bump into some sort of old world palace. So they climb all the way up the stones and discover an abandoned city. This is in 1972, remember. And out of nowhere, there's now a murder and a fight breaks out among this group. So then the gold figures and ceramic urns from the old world site begin to appear on the black market. Of course they do. Who killed the son? Was this done by the hidden group? You tell me. And then alerting the archaeologists, because their ridiculous mainstream narrative just might get exposed. What did this group find at the site in Colombia in 1972? Needing to alert the archaeologists and a team led by the director of this group. And they got to this site before that year, 100%. But we are all given the year 1976. I don't believe that it took 4 years. There's no way. And for the biggest giveaway of all time, and to blow everybody's mind at how this operation works worldwide. And our true history is 100% hidden from all of us. If you were unsure before, this should wake you up quick. The site was reconstructed for 6 years. They destroyed and are hiding our true history from all of us between 1976 and 1982. Can you believe what we just read? How can anything be trusted from this point forward about this site? How can we know this? Look at the narrative and trust what they're telling us about it. It could not be any clearer that they have stolen the old world items. They destroyed anything that would have shown the world that they are liars and pretended like they just knew all about the 800s. Complete robbery. Total manipulation on a grand scale. Whatever is left from the site today is crumbs. It is nothing compared to what was actually found in 1972. Now, the thing about the jungle is that they couldn't just go in there in the 1700s, before we all got here, and chop the heads off of all the statues, like they did in all the other continents. So when they found this place in the 1970s, they had to rush in there, most likely kill one of the people that found it, because these people, they didn't want to give it up. They had just found something incredible, and then they just sent the superhero archaeologists in there. It is a clear operation. This is how it works, or at least did, where they left behind this rock for us to see. Pretending like the old world just grabbed some rocks and scratched a bunch of marks on the rock. When, let's all be honest, they probably just did this to the rock during the renovation project. This rock is not from the old world. This rock is from the 1970s. Then they go on to tell us that indigenous peoples had established advanced communities 1,500 years before the Spanish had arrived, meaning 1,500 years before 1492 is the year -8 in advanced community. And then we all went back to dirt roads in the 1800s, sleeping in huts. But at the exact same time, we are told that they were the most advanced group ever. And we are all evolving and advancing. How many of you think that we are evolving and advancing now? If I had to take a guess, it's not as many as before. Telling us that they had gardens in the year 8, growing tomatoes and corn. Can you believe that they made this stuff up for so many years? And we were all just like, oh yeah, the corn. Wow. Yes, the avocados. This is crazy. Come on, archaeologists. Tell us more. We want to know more about the year 8. I just want to hear so much more about the corn that they grew. Tell me all about the tomatoes and the pineapples of the past. Tell me all about the year 8. How the children from 2,000 years ago would be told stories from elders and learn to create fabrics to make clothes. Can you believe this is what we are told? Can you believe that there are so many people out there still that believe this nonsense? I really hope that nobody is looking at this saying, yeah, you guys, they really did tell stories about making clothes 2,000 years ago. The archaeologists know all about this. They learned all about this by brushing away the dirt with their paintbrush. And I know this because the scholars told me so. They went to school for this, and they would never lie to me. They wouldn't totally distract me from the truth by telling me all about the corn and tomatoes from the year 8. They wouldn't do this to me. It is incredible what we have all been reading for years and fully trusted. And for so many, they still do. Around 1970, farmers learned of the possibilities of finding old world great treasures. So these farmers organized themselves without the archaeologists, which the mainstream did not like at all. So they changed these farmers' names from farmers to looters. These people, the farmers, are doing the same exact activity that the archaeologists do repeatedly. This activity of finding the old world items without an archaeologist present, or in other words, the mainstream narrative being present. This is an illegal activity. Can you believe this? Our entire history is 100% controlled worldwide, and this just proves it. Every single site in the world has gone through the controlling group that writes the stories the way that they want to. They add what they want to the story and remove items and anything that doesn't fit in with the mainstream narrative, and they keep it for themselves. And yet again, another story where the farmers, that are now called looters, went deeper into the Sierra until 1973, when they found the lost city and found all of the old world items. So another group, which I'm guessing was the mainstream narrative, sending their group in. And of course, both leaders were killed in a bloody combat. They did not want these people reporting on what they found. This is incredible. Now there's something called lidar, which really started working in the 1980s. LIDAR stands for light detection and ranging. It uses laser pulses to measure distances by sending light to a target and measuring how long it takes for the light to bounce back. This creates a highly detailed 3D map of landscapes, structures, or objects. Thousands of these measurements are taken per second. And this works in jungles. So today they can go and find these sites so much easier. They have found all of them at this point. There's no doubt about that. I can guarantee that there's no more farmers just going off into the jungle and just finding random old world palaces in 2024. This group can now just fly one of these drones over the jungle and map the whole thing out. And we can all see this right on the World Monuments Fund's website, where they tell us that archaeologists completed LIDAR mapping of this location in 2019, where they found more than 200 structures, including dwellings, terraces, stone paths, plazas, ceremonial sites, storehouses, and canals. And guess what? We all know there's more that we are not being told about or shown. In 2023, they let us know that the WMF took this site on as part of its project portfolio and will, of course, continue to work at this site, meaning that they have found more. Now, I do find it extremely odd that they would leave any of these places. It's one of three things, in my opinion, at this point. It's like they either don't care if we figure it out, they want us to try to figure it out like it's some sort of game, or they have to allow us to be able to figure it out if we want to. Otherwise, we all know that they would have just blown this place up and just said that there's a war among the farmers and called them looters. And one of the looters just decided to bomb the place because if he couldn't have it, then nobody could. And we would all believe it for years because they told us. And they wouldn't lie about that. But the fact that it's still there in some capacity is very interesting. Now, just looking at these photos and knowing what we know, I would guess that there is so much more underneath this. I would guess that this is a roof and there are tunnel networks underneath it. And this is what they could be looking into starting in 2023, where they continued to work at the site, especially when we are told that the lost city in Colombia does have underground tunnels. Welcome to episode 102 of My Lunch Break. I hope you're all having a great day, and if you're new, welcome. All right, let's be real. There's a food you're probably eating right now that's killing your testosterone, draining your energy, and wrecking your focus. And the crazy part? This food is advertised as healthy. Tons of guys are eating it every day because they think it's gonna help them burn fat and build muscle. But here's the shocking truth. It's doing the exact opposite. Even if you only eat this food once in a while, it's enough to devastate your testosterone, leaving you feeling weaker, more unmotivated, and struggling in the gym, at work. And trust me, it's not just your age or genetics holding you back. It's this one unexpected food. Here's the thing. This food is so common that most guys don't even realize how much damage it's causing. But there's a simple way to avoid it, and our friends over at VSHRED have created a powerful video that reveals exactly what this healthy food is and how cutting it out can transform your whole body, helping you build muscle, lose fat, and boost your energy. So if you want to know what this testosterone killing food is and how to avoid it, head over to sculptnation.com/MLB. Again, that's sculptnation.com/MLB to watch the video, or click on the link below in the description. This could be the game changer you've been looking for. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. If you're suffering from daily aches and pains, Please listen closely. Top medical experts have unveiled a natural pain reliever that is changing the way Americans fight pain. 100% drug-free. Canalidine is the only solution in the world that optimizes your body's natural painkillers, called endorphins, providing full body relief without dangerous pills or known side effects. Over 1 million Americans and hundreds of professional athletes, including UFC fighters, have already embraced Canalidine's pain relief power. Best of all, Canalidine is legal worldwide, certified drug-free, and does not cause side effects, grogginess, or addiction. After 14 years of clinical research, it has been proven safe and effective, backed by thousands of successful use cases from other Americans just like you. Best of all, today, you can try Canalidine for less than $1 per day. This is your opportunity to finally live pain-free. Click the link below to try the only Canalidine product in the world risk-free for a full 90 days. This private link and special discount expires at midnight tonight. Go to www.tricano.com/MLB. Experience daily pain relief with Canalidine. You have nothing to lose but your pain. And I want to thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to FlatEarthDave.com. You can check out his app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac app. I'll put the link right in the description. And you can use my referral code, MLB. If you click the Tartaria button, you'll see the My Lunch Break playlist right here. The app is awesome. Thank you to Rebecca Kay, The Lady Lacey Show, David and Sherry Ferguson, Edwin Johnson, Chuck Templeton, Joy Lee, Stephanie Nolan, The Burlesons, Edwin Rice, Helmut, Charles Kruger, Don Gaston, Dan Woodall, Dale, DJ Clicktrack, Edward and Brianna, Jacob Law, Jim Ribley and Christine Duggan, Kyle Glascock, BKTFnews.org, Dendries NL, Natalie Shippenoff, Amberson EMC, HK Sue, Melissa Edgar, Biggles, Clayton Lamar, Noble Task Homestead, John Adams, Roberts O'Zolins, Rick Tapkey, Blake, Billy Prater, The Phoenix Art, The Arnolds, Attila Power, VKH Bonner, Bell's Clarions for God, Forbidden Gecko Love, Justin Grobner Grubb, Leah Strong, Peter Batani, Dakota Dunn, Eric Martinez, Ivan Apoctoli, Jim Bro, EggardT-shirts.com, Meta, Jason Hochberg, Marie C, ValleyMedicinals.com, Kyle Logan, Alina and Chris the IT Guy, Michael Dingyu, Patriot Armory, Tom O'Hara, Michael D. Connor, William Royal, C3SCOB, Ancient Tallow, Jeffrey Temple, SonyaDane.com, James Alt, Bucksui, Jason Press, Suki Warrior, We the People, Migs, Miss Rex's Murphy, Mark Chapman, Muji and DeClan, Ariana Oates, Jenica Joyce, Nathan Burba, Ski, Code Drenth, The Sovereign, Beacon of Truth, Liberty's Arborist, Thomas Thorpe Peterson, Zinger Coffee and Tea, Natasha C, K Moore, DevlinMcGregor.com, Miss Fox, Diamond Jewel, David Rauschenbach, Emily Maryland, Felipe, Curious Cat, Mike D, etc., Dan McGee, Lori Hedvig Johnson, Terry, Paraplegic Coffee, Avatars of Gaia, Secrets Beyond Earth, Ellie Annie, Ivan Apoctoli, Seth Craigo, D Woods, Glenn Gunderson, Mousie's Mouse Cheese Records, James Vincent, Robert's Brain is Gone, Extreme Reality Check, Anna and Marley Valdez, Wayne T, Late for Dinner, Wanakar Camo, Paolo Goncalves, Dax Bilchek, Appeal to Heaven, G Power, Papa One, Jesse De Leon, Festive Trev, Andrea J. Kerrigan, Janet Elizabeth, Dr. Mom, Penn Patriot, Ducks, MDFTFV, Rod Wah, Kim Lusada, William Richard Jeffries V, Checkmate, Robert Petro, Dylan Mugenberg, Leonard Insalaco, Martha Wooten, Doc Halo, Henry's Mom, Vince Moreno, Shiba Shaba in the Darkness. You guys are all awesome and helping this channel out a lot. There are reports and evidence of tunnels. These tunnels are believed to have been part of a system that connect different areas of the city and possibly linked this lost city to other settlements in the region. Possibly. Maybe. When we all know that it does. They are still being explored and studied today, showing that we were correct yet again. And we know exactly why the WMF is back at the site in 2023. They have found so much more. Much of the site remains hidden in the jungle and continues to be uncovered by the mainstream narrative. No. I mean archaeologists. The complexity of this site, its architecture with its terraces, circular plazas, and elevated paths, suggests that the builders, the old world, as we all know here, were highly skilled builders who may have used the tunnels as part of their infrastructure. Could you even imagine what is going on in these tunnels? What do they really lead to? I have to be honest. I start these episodes off by just being amazed by the sight that I'm seeing. And then after getting into the episode a little, I start wondering, does this site have tunnels? And time again, in every single country, all over the world, it has a network of tunnels, structures, under our feet, which makes me wonder, if it's in every single city in the world, like we've seen here, do these tunnels all connect to each other from North America to South America? Is there a massive web under our feet that has been there from the old world? How many people are in these tunnels today? What is going on below our feet? It's so interesting when you really think about it. It's basically a whole other world right below the ground. And we have shown how many people that are not adults go missing every year. On average, over 8 million people that are not adults yet. They go missing worldwide each year. 8 million a year. Where do you think they all go? How is this even possible? This is an alarming statistic. We have shown how these tunnels connect below schools. We have shown that they connect to churches. They're connected to state capitals. Where do these people go? I ask these questions sometimes, hoping that you can answer them yourself. There is a massive issue below our feet. We have a lot of skulls and femurs, bones that have been boiled and cleaned up. They have been stacked into geometric patterns below churches all over the world. We have 3 episodes on this to this point. They are now called Catacombs, where it is estimated that over 1 million people per year purchase a ticket to support this. And they just go looking around these catacombs. We have been fooled for so long. As a whole, an incredible operation that has honestly done a really great job accomplishing its goal, to keep the masses in a trance. So they just found this place in the 1970s, and out of nowhere, in 2003, 8 foreign tourists were kidnapped at the site. And I have to ask, how many times do you think this has happened over the years that we just didn't hear about? And 2 years later, the site was up and running again. And there have been no problems since. And they make sure we know there have not been any more kidnappings that we know of. Remember, this place has been found for so long. We finally find it in the 70s. And in 2009, it now needs our help, of course. The Global Heritage Fund has been working to preserve and protect the historic site against the climate. So we have so many groups here today, all interested in this location for some reason. There has to be something going on there. Multiple groups just hanging out, protecting it from the sun. We are told from people that are going to this site today, you have to be very careful here because most accidents happen on the wet, uneven steps. The stairs lead steeply up the mountain like a green tunnel. You can read the rest, but getting to the top of this thing is insane. Uneven steps, steeply up the mountain. There were no horses and wagons climbing up this mountain. And it's apparently only bearable to get there in the morning hours. The previous civilization was incredible. The amount of sites that we have shown to this point is unbelievable. I think back to places like Mount Nemrut, where they were up in the sky basically, constructing stone faces, or caves in the middle of the jungle in India. Palmyra, Syria, having massive columns all over the place. What an incredible place that we all live. So many structures from the old world that have now been shown to the world again. Clearly, there was an advanced group of people here that had incredible technology and so much more. I think that the people that we all think of as incredible inventors today, I would guess that these people are chosen and used as the front people to give all of us the old world technology back slowly, all according to their plan, so that it's all done in a controlled manner, a controlled environment, just based on everything that we have seen. This seems most plausible. It's exactly what I would do if I had all the old world technology and had an end goal of wanting to rule the world. I do find mistakes once in a while, such as the camera. I do believe that this was a mistake. I think that it was given back a little too quick. Unless, of course, it's all a game. That they wanted to see if we could find this information. And they knew that we would need to be able to see the past, the 1800s, with the Cologne Cathedral or the Milan Cathedral. Palaces in the background, with the 1800s dirt roads, their wooden sheds, wooden wheels, and the horse and wagon community. We would need to be able to see these pictures in order for the game to continue, in order for us to understand what we are looking for. Thank you to all of our badge members, all of our Patreons, and every single subscriber, and everybody who hits that like button. We're trying to get to 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then we're gonna work on passing Mr. Beast. We are also over on Rumble, X, Instagram, Spotify, Rockfin, and TikTok. And of course, if you're watching on those channels, we are also on YouTube. I really enjoy sharing this information with all of you. It is really cool to see this community grow to a bigger and bigger audience every single week. Being able to reach brand new minds every day because of all of you. Now, there are so many places in the world that just don't belong in our timeline. Just like we have shown over and over, with ridiculous narratives that are clearly made up, where they just find the place and then know all about what happened at campfire story time in the year 8, including this site, staying in South America. We have the site of Pucara de Tilcara, where it's becoming so clear that based on the rediscovery dates, that our timeline just started a few hundred years ago. Just like we have stated from episode 10 onwards, where they rediscovered this location in 1908. To clear this up, that means that they just found it. Finding it in 1908. This is not a rediscovery. This is a discovery. Finding it in 1908. And then cataloged over 3,000 artifacts during the first 3 years of digging. Clearing about 22,000 square feet. Incredible. In 1966, the Archaeological Museum began. This site is unbelievable. They didn't just find artifacts, they found bodies, telling us among the most valuable is a mummified body discovered, fully clothed, in an excellent state of preservation, where it is, of course, no longer being exhibited. You cannot go there and see the body. It is no longer open to the public, blocking all of us from the truth over and over. I'd love to know how many times we have found things that are just being blocked off from all of us. How can we trust the narrative when they don't even show us everything? I'll ask you something. Would you trust me if I did this to you? Of course not. So why is this acceptable for them? I don't believe it is. So they tell us that one body was found, where we all know that there was more. And that one body is being blocked off from all of us. So what else is being hidden from us? 5,000 valuable historic pieces that were found are on display. Could you imagine what was found here? And at this point, we are so locked in, fully understanding that these narratives have coded patterns. I love exposing these patterns to all of you, finding the patterns and never looking back, making sure that the narrative gives us all the pottery. You gotta give them the pottery, okay? So they don't ask about all the other stuff in the back. The previous civilization. The previous civilization was not just over there making a bunch of pottery and then having stone palaces, webbed underground networks, connecting it all with the stars, and then saying, okay, let's go make some pottery. Johnny, go get me the clay. Babe, I don't know if I'm gonna make it for dinner. It's gonna be a busy night with my clay pottery set. Just having arts and crafts nights on Wednesdays, basket weaving on Thursdays, and warrior training on Fridays. This is absolute nonsense. Telling us all about the year -8,000. Saying that traces of human habitation date back more than 10,000 years, with this tribe just moving in around the 12th century. Finding all of this in 1908. And then pretending to know all about the -8,000s. At this point, it actually seems like they have something wrong with them. Only if they actually believe their own lies, of course. I don't know, Brian. What do you think? Well, this stone looks a lot like a stone from the -3000s. I don't know. That sounds a little too close to our timeline. Well, -5? No, I don't think so. What about 8,000? Yeah, that sounds better. Let's go with that, yeah. Well, see, Brian, do you see where it's chipped right here on the side? Right on the corner? This right here is clear evidence of a basket weaving, pottery making civilization from 10,000 years ago. So don't forget that for next time. I don't know what I was thinking suggesting the -3000s. This is crazy. And then we all sign up for their indoctrination classes. Oh, wait, no. I mean, history classes. And we all enjoy these stories about pottery makers of the past. And these history major individuals, they get really interested in it. So interested and invested that they want to go and visit the site. So they get on a plane, they get there, and then they're told that they can't see the body because of ethical and cultural concerns and or conservation issues and or it's now illegal. And then they say, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. What else do you got? Well, we have some pottery. Oh, I'm so interested in pottery. Sign me up for the pottery. That is what I came here to see. And then off they go. I've personally had enough of the pottery excuse. I am ready to see the skulls that are being hidden from us from episode 96. I want to see the tunnels under the state capitol buildings that were meant for us from episode 100. I want to see it all. I believe we are on that path. The more people that know about these places, these sites, the things that are blocked off from us, the harder it's going to be to keep them locked in the basement, away from all of us. We know here that these heads were chopped off all of the statues all over the world, where I believe that they expose that the old world had elongated heads, elongated skulls, a civilization that was not here as far back as we've been told. I believe that this is the reason that they find these heads, these skulls, and they either destroy them or they simply hide them from all of us. Over and over, and we are just getting started. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Please subscribe and like the video if you enjoy this channel. I will be back next Saturday, episode 103, where we will be exposing so much more. See ya.